Hey guys, welcome back. Jay here for another video on the My Team career mode in F1 23 for season 2 for the Canadian GP in episode 24 today. Should be a good one. Last season we did get our first points here in Canada, so hopefully we can replicate that and maybe get some more points, because last time we came 7th. Hopefully we can place a bit higher. We've got a better car than we did the first time, so hopefully we don't run into too many problems in the race and we can have a good race. If you didn't see the last race in Spain, it was a good race. We did have some problems. It was raining towards the end. We made a good move down into turn 1 at the start of the race to get us up into second. Sadly didn't finish on the podium, had a bit of trouble in the race with sliding around, but apart from that it was a good result. We've got 10 million and we've got some resource points to spend at one point, but what we have to try and look out for is the driver market. Our teammate's contract ends in 35 days, you can see there, and we will I want to look for a new teammate. Our teammate has done okay. He's not scored too many points when our car was competing for podiums towards the end of the season last season, and competing for top 5 at least start the season, and we're starting to continue that trend. Now we had some problems after the first 2 races with 3 DNFs, but apart from that, we should have a pretty good Canadian GP, and hopefully we can, as I said, replicate the success we had last time in our My Team career mode in season 1. Looking at some of this, we get 10% boost on the powertrain morale. That will help quite a lot. I think we still have the best engine on the grid, but that will all be put to the test in Canada, so let's get straight into it. Jumping straight into practice 1 for the weekend, straight in with the resource points. That's what you love to see, getting that success. We are gonna we weren't gonna take the gamble on that one. I did think about it, but rather just go for the 100%. Love to see it with the points coming in. That will help with upgrading the car, and it will help as I said, upgrading the car and performance. It'll also be good to have some resource points sitting there, so if we ever need to with any regulations coming in at the end of the season, we can change it up. But here we go to qualifying now. Sorry, no, practice. Keep on thinking it's a sprint weekend in Canada. That was going to be the original plan. In the pre-season we were going to have a sprint race in Canada, but I did think about it for a while, and Canada didn't really seem like the place to have a sprint race, and that is 2 times in a row that one's failed. So we are going to go for the 50% one. Does it come in? Yes, it does. Love to see it. So let's get straight in to qualifying. Well, diving in for our first run in Q1. Hopefully we can set a good time on the board, but the car feels okay, as we learned last time out that the McLarens have some decent pace and can were in the spot that we were last season towards the end of the season, competing for wins. So that'll be a hard one to challenge McLaren, but the car feels dead slippery through the first sector. Hopefully it changes throughout the rest of the lap. We come through the final chicane there next to Champions Wall. We are going to come across the line and go 20th, and it is a bad qualifying lap. That is we're going to have to try and improve on that one, and we come across the line to start our second lap. We do have a bad turn 1 and a bad exit through someone and turn 2, probably my favourite turn here, trying to get a good exit, just keeping it within track limits. Good run down into the chicane, we turned in too much towards that wall, coming around the right hander, trying to get on the throttle nice and early. We do get on the throttle nice and early, close that from a 3/10 gap down to just a 2/10 gap, about a tenth, but we are going to cross the line, and that is going to be about 5/10 down on our previous time, and that is not going to help anybody. But we're already up in our time going through turn 1 and turn 2 and take a nice line through there underneath our line, but we don't get the exit that we so desire. So we're now a tenth and a half down on our time, now 2 tenths down on our time. We brought it back down to faster. That changed real quickly, but now we're down to 2 tenths once again. It'll all depend on this final chicane. What's going to happen? We're going to hit the brakes, going to keep it in track limits. We slide around just a wee bit. We're going to be 4 tenths down on our time by the time we cross the line. And that's the way we looked last season around Canada with a really poor qualifying, but we do get a tighter line. They are getting the exit that we desire, but it doesn't really work out, and we are going to be knocked out in Q1. Our teammate makes it through into Q2 for one of the first times in a while. Fernando Alonso tops the session with Lando Norris in second, and the McLarens are starting to run away with it a wee bit, but let's just get straight into the race.
Lights out is quickly approaching on this artificial island originally built for the World Fair in 1967. Now it's used for a World's Fair of a different kind, ever since Formula One first arrived here. We're back in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles per hour here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially the infamous Wall of Champions, and watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and that final chicane. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Fernando Alonso completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Russell, Verstappen, Ocon, Gasly, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Stroll, Hamilton, Magnussen, Albon, Joe, Tsunoda, Perez, Liam Lawson, Iwasa, Iceman, Sargent, and Nick de Vries. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
On the grid now for the Canadian GP, looking at strategy, and it does look good, so let's get straight into it. Not gonna bore you at all. We're gonna go to the 5 red lights, and that now is lights out and away we go. It's a good start for me, but it's also a good start for Liam Lawson in front of us. It's fast start for, I think that was Yuki Tsunoda beside us, but we're going to dive down the inside of a couple cars there. We get floor damage, and that is not good. That's going to hamper our performance quite a wee bit. We're going to try and go right round the outside of Kevin Magnussen and Lewis Hamilton, who's going to come out on top. We do get past Kevin Magnussen, and we do get past Lewis Hamilton, keeping it within track limits, and we're up into 11th. Straight away 9 positions within the space of 3 turns. There's our teammate. We're going to try and go right round the outside of him, and it is going to be no team orders in Canada, and it's going to be fighting wheel by wheel through that chicane. And now on the run down into the next chicane, I'm going to deploy ERS, going to try round the outside, getting nice and close to that barrier. Round the outside, we do get past our teammate, and we're up into the point same position. It is only 1 point so far, but there is a Ferrari of Carlos Sainz beside us. We do break a lot later than I would have liked, not being able to slow the car down, just diving up the inside. Carlos Sainz went up into P9 without the Bottas, and Pierre Gasly, one of the drivers that I'm eyeing up for our second seat in the team, but we are going to try and get a good slipstream off of Valtteri Bottas to set us up for the second lap down into turn 1. We go a wee bit wide, having to cut the curb so I can, because I couldn't slow the car down, but into turn 1 we go. We do set the fastest last sector, which is to be suspected, but we do dive down the inside of Valtteri Bottas, and we're up into P8 now with Pierre Gasly and P7 in front of us, and it will be good to see how our car performs properly against the Alpines. We've been able to keep them in arm's length, but we are going to get DRS on lap 3 now. Probably one of my favourite spots to overtake down into the chicane, but am I going to go for the lunge on Pierre Gasly? Yes, I am. It's going to be side by side, just keeping it out of the wall, just keeping the gap to Pierre Gasly, giving him enough room to work with. But we are up into P7 going through turn 1 now. Now into the second chicane of the lap, and we're in P7, and there's Esteban Ocon, who's starting to pull away from us just that wee bit, and car feels okay, but it's really hard to slow down through that hairpin. I think I'm just picking my braking points just a wee bit too early, but sorry, just a wee bit too late. But gonna try and be as aggressive as I can so I can close that gap to Esteban Ocon in the Aston Martin here in Canada. Car feels okay, and the Alpine, I'm gonna just try and keep the Alpines behind me. Fastest sector 3, so that's good, always good. But we are gonna come into the pits, and we're gonna try and get a good pit stop. Hopefully nothing wrong with the tyres like we did in Spain. It's a good pit stop, 2.4 seconds. Still gonna have to make some aggressive facility to see if I can get that pit stop just a wee bit faster. Coming out of the pits now, we are in P20, and we're gonna have to do quite a lot of work to catch up to the drivers. Perez in P18, back to where he started the race. Not a good result for him in qualifying. Tapping the wall there, no damage to the car somehow, but we are gonna have to try and do a bit of work. But now on lap 13, we do set fastest lap of the race, so a 1:12.4, pretty good lap. But on lap 14 of this race now, we're in P15 because of all the pit stops. Perez is up in P13, that's pretty good for him. Esteban Ocon now is still in front of us, and that's going to be the driver I think we're going to be battling with quite a lot in the final stages of the race. If I can close up to my fastest sector 1 here in Canada, not too shabby if I do have to say so myself. Green sector 2 as well, so that's pretty good. Hopefully we can set another fastest lap as we go through the first turn now. And there's Yuki Tsunoda. He's spun, he's tried to correct it, and he's crashed right into the wall, and the safety car has been deployed. Safety car has been deployed in Canada, and that's going to be massive for our race, and it's going to change absolutely everything. We're going to have to slow down quite a wee bit so we don't get a penalty for exceeding the delta, but this has changed everything. Safety car on lap 15 of this race with only 11 laps remaining, and this is, as I said, going to change absolutely everything. But safety car's in this lap. I'm going to dive right down the inside of Esteban Ocon straight away. He's going to give us a good scrap though, right the way through again. He's going to just try and stick with us as much as we can on the run down into the right hander. What we do, just get past him through there, and now we're going to have to try and catch up to Charles Leclerc. We're going to do what we did to his teammate, dive straight down the inside. He's going to try to switch back. He's going to be successful. He's going to get the run on me, but we are going to just pull ahead with ERS. But he is coming for us. He's still just beside us. We do get past him. He is still lurking though as we go into the chicane, and we get past him, and now we're in P5 with, on the final lap of this race, we are going to come round the final chicane, just keeping it out of the wall. That would have been disastrous if I crashed there. But we are going to cross the line to finish 2 positions higher than we did last time, to finish P5 in the Canadian Grand Prix.
Pick up rubber and bring it home. They take the checkered flag then here in Canada in what has been another fabulous Grand Prix. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, confidence breeds confidence. Success breeds success. They are very much enjoying a purple patch right now.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy.
Well, there you have it. Fernando Alonso wins the Canadian GP with Max Verstappen in second and George Russell in third. And Max Verstappen is slowly but surely getting his season back up and running, and hopefully he can compete for another World Championship to make it 4 in a row, but Fernando Alonso looks pretty dangerous in that McLaren. Maybe he gets his third World Championship, and maybe George Russell gets his first this season. It might be a three-way battle, maybe it's a four-way battle, with Lewis Hamilton looking dangerous as well, looking in second place in the Drivers' Championship. Maybe Lewis will get his 8th World Championship, but it's all to play for here in this race. We're not even at the season break yet, and there's already been a massive amount of drama here in our My Team Career mode. But it was a good race for myself, good race for the team. Both of our drivers getting into the points. Oscar Piastri gets in. Pierre Gasly DNFs by the end of the race. Not a good result for him. He gets fastest lap though, just stealing it off of me. So, you don't get an extra point. Still P5 though. 10 points on the board, but we are going to look at the standings, and Lewis Hamilton takes lead of the championship, and as you can see there, it's a four-way battle in the top four. They all have the top five have a mathematical chance of winning, but so do we if we somehow pull something out the bag. But I do hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe and comment. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you next time for the British GP in Season 2.